Yo, what's up, guys? It's Mark from Soko Mining. It's been a good year mining Ethereum and whatever you might be mining, definitely a good year in crypto. And I want to go over in this video what I'm doing with all of my Ethereum and my mined coins and the investments I'm getting into, specifically in DeFi, which is most of my holdings. You might have seen this post I just dropped. This is my holdings here, and that's what we're going to get into this video. So here I got my hive. I got 2 rigs down right now, but right around 2 gigahashes, usually 2.5 when I get these back up, just doing a little maintenance on these. And here's the flex pool. So basically, a lot of you guys might be selling your ETH or holding it. I'm going to give you guys what I do with it. I'm mining it straight to Polygon right now, and then from there I'll bridge it over to different layer ones and invest it either in liquidity protocols or just invest it directly into different DeFi stuff that gives you good APR. So here's my portfolio here, my CoinGecko portfolio. It's about 20% curve. I'm going to get into curve in a second, and 20% ETH, and then I basically have around 5 to 10% in different layer 1 and layer 2 projects that are smart contract oriented and DeFi oriented. And then I got a lot of my percentages in GameFi, like Axie Infinity and DeFi Kingdoms, DeFi Land, another one, just up and coming gaming projects. I'll get into that later too. So first thing to cover is Curve token, the Curve DAO token. So I bought a bunch of this stuff, and essentially what it is it's a governance token for Curve. As you see, they're one of the biggest market cap DeFi programs, DeFi protocols. They're an automated market maker, and rather than using their protocol, you can buy the governance token and lock it up here on Convex, and that's what I did. That's exactly what I did, and you get about 60% APR. Here's the breakdown of how you get your APR. Right here, you get paid in 3 different assets, as well as getting additional airdrops on top of your APR there. These are claimed, for example, on the Binance Smart Chain, and it just adds a little bit to your total reward. So I've locked up 10K on here. It was about 8 earlier, and it's already kicking up pretty good actually. The other 20% that I have, now we got to switch over to the Avalanche network on my MetaMask, and it's going to be on AAVE. So on AAVE I have my 20% of my Ethereum. I wrapped it from the Ethereum network and sent it over, bridged it over to the Avalanche network. And something cool you do here is, so I'm getting this amount of APR, lending my 2 ETH here, and I collateralize it, and now I can borrow. I borrowed almost 5K here against it. This is my health factor. As long as I keep this up over 1, I won't get liquidated. If I get liquidated, there's a liquidation fee, and I lose a good amount of money. You don't want to do that. And I'm paying 4% interest on this loan. And then with this loan, I go into some of the other platforms here, and it's a little bit of leverage that I use. Not recommended for everyone, but I don't mind having a little leverage, especially if I have a consistent flow of Ethereum coming in to rebalance it in case of my position being at risk. My miners will give me a consistent flow of Ethereum to help that out. All right, now to get into my AVAX play, that's basically this right here, Avalanche and Joe. So Joe is the biggest AMM on Avalanche. If we pull up DeFi Llama and we switch to the Avalanche chain, DeFi Llama is a really good tool. You can see the total value locked and market caps, all that stuff. So AAVE is number 1. At 3 billion. Trader Joe, this is more of like a swap an AMM. AAVE is more lending. Trader Joe is at number 1. So my strategy, which you'll see is for most of my plays right now, I'll tie up the token that the platform uses, which is Joe in this case. I'll tie that up with the actual protocol token. So Joe and AVAX, I tie these up equally and put them here, and basically provide liquidity. So when people are trading from Joe to AVAX or AVAX to Joe, I get a percentage of the fees that are given to the pool, and it also gives me exposure to both of the assets, of course. And basically how this usually works when you're providing liquidity on any DeFi protocol is you have to come in every day, collect your daily fees that you've made from other traders using your liquidity, and then you would either do something with those earnings, or you can resubmit them into your pool to compound. But since it's DeFi, we have protocols like this, Beefy. So Beefy is a auto compounder. So basically this is my position here, and it'll automatically do the stuff. It'll auto compound at optimal rates. However, it does that usually daily, and it usually knows when to do it, and I don't have to worry about it. And it just keeps adding onto my position. The only thing to keep note of is impermanent loss, which you can look up and get further into that. But basically, what I want is these two assets to stay the same price, or else I'm gonna miss out on gains on one or the other. Or if one tanks a lot in price, I'm gonna sell the other asset into the tanking one so that I have an equal amount of each asset at all times. Because as a liquidity provider, I'm always gonna have the same amount of each asset, no matter what happens to the prices of one another. So this is in my auto compounding here, 100% APY. That's pretty sick, but that's your reward for taking risk and holding these high risk assets and pegging them together essentially. And that's it for Avalanche. Next up, we'll go to my FTM play, which is Fantom, another chain, another layer 1 Ethereum competitor of sorts, just like Avalanche. And I do the same strategy here. So if we look here on DeFi Llama, switch over to the Fantom network, it's the same idea basically. These are not AMMs. These are not basically AMMs. The first highest liquidity AMM is Spooky Swap. And an AMM is basically automated market maker. That's where people go to swap their tokens. If you want to swap your Fantom for ETH, your ETH for Fantom. So let's go to Spooky Swap here. So people would swap whatever. Boo is the main token of Spooky Swap. And I've done the same strategy here. I've added FTM and Boo as ingredients for my potion, they call it, which is basically just your liquidity position, your LP position. And then I've done the same thing here. I have to just switch over my MetaMask to the Fantom network. And I have this on a different wallet, I believe. And if I look here now on the Fantom network on my Beefy account, yep. Okay, no, actually this is a different. This is a high risk. This is a high risk ohm fork. I'll get into that in another video maybe. Definitely not recommended for beginners or in general. High risk position. Let's try again. So if we come back to Beefy on Fantom with my new address, yeah, so I do the same thing here. Instead of Joe and AVAX, I have Boo and FTM, and this is 60% APY, and I'm also gaining trading fees that accumulate on the platform. Okay, next layer 1 is Terra Luna that I'm on. And so here I basically have some Luna staked on the main staking platform. Not high APR, just a good place to lock up Terra and gain some rewards. Beyond that, I did the same thing now. I've added liquidity on Terra swap. Here I did Luna and B Luna. So it's basically the same exact token. It's like wrapped Luna and Luna, or bonded, however they call it here. And that avoids impermanent loss. So it's basically the same asset, gaining trading fees between them. And what I've done is I've taken that and I've locked it for 12 weeks on ASTROPORT. And basically ASTROPORT is a new protocol. It's going to be a lending platform, a borrowing and lending platform, I believe, on Terra Luna, and it's a really big project. There's 4 days left to lock your stuff, and depending how long you lock and how much you lock, you're going to get a free Astro reward airdrop. And excited for that. Speculating to see what the price would be on that. After Terra would be Harmony chain. So there's another layer 1, basically gone through 3 layer 1s that compete with Ethereum because of how high the gas fees are. And now the 4th one, this one's a fun one, is Harmony. So if we look at Harmony, where's one or Harmony here? Harmony chain. The highest ranking AMM on Harmony is actually DeFi Kingdoms, and this is like a really cool gamified. Let me switch to the Harmony network. It's a gamified AMM, so same AMM idea. And some music off, really good music too, by the way, if you want to check it out. Okay, enough of that. Yeah, so it's same exact idea, but it just looks gamified. So here I come in, I claim my harvest. It's not automated or auto compounding like the other ones. So I claim my harvest here, and I'll just run through like a daily routine. So I've claimed my harvest, which was some jewel. Then I'll go back to the map, come into the marketplace here. This is the trader. Now I can trade my jewel that I just got. Let's wait for that to update. Okay, got my jewel here. $50, not bad at all for a daily claim. And then I can switch that jewel into whatever I want. So here I'll swap it to US dollar. And that small fee I just incurred there will go to the liquidity providers, and me being one of them, basically. So here I have, this is my liquidity providing positions too. So this is how if I were to tie up jewel with another asset, so I do jewel and 1, Harmony 1, this gives me exposure to the layer 1 Harmony token and the highest AMM on the Harmony chain. So the more liquidity and volume that comes to Harmony, most likely will pump both of these, and that's the idea with all these strategies. And then it's higher risk now, and then as these positions bring in more profit and success, I plan to de-risk and go more into stable coins pegged to the layer 1 instead of holding this automated market maker token, which is a little higher risk. It's a little more volatile. Next game is AXIE Infinity that I have. This is another one of the gamified tokens. If you see here, AXIE Infinity. So this is pretty cool the way that this all works. So I have here, this is an account here that I have with 3 AXIEs. Basically, what people do is you build a team of 3 buying these NFTs. They all have their own special moves that they fight with, and you can either play the game yourself to earn SLP every day, and you can sell that SLP. What I do is I have scholars, they're called. So I have 4 scholars, and they play for you. These are people that play for you, and they'll share some of the profits every day. So they all share 50% of the profits they earn, and then I get the other 50%. What I do with my SLP that I earn, similar to like mining it almost, like you have a constant passive income. The price has been tanking, so it hasn't been too great lately, but I take my SLP and I bring it here. Let me log into this. I take my SLP and I bring it here. This is this is an automated market maker on the Ronin chain. So I put in my SLP tied to wrapped Ethereum, and I gain fees for people exchanging between it, just like all the other DeFi platforms I'm on. Same idea, just different chains, and hopefully collecting fees. And it's a good way to balance out your portfolios and earn, rather than being just in the token alone. You also gain fees every day, and it's more passive income. Last thing is basically NewOrder that I haven't talked about. NewOrder is just a high risk play I'm doing with 5% of my portfolio. It's actually so I only have half of these assets here. Me and my brother are both in this together. But this is a really interesting. It's like a bootstrapping DAO. They're gonna bootstrap developers that create DeFi protocols, and they're gonna basically fund them, and in exchange for some ownership of the tokens. Let's pull them up real quick. Yeah, this is them here, NewOrder. Yep. 500% APY. This is our deposit here and the rewards. And that's that. That's my full portfolio. Not investment advice, but you should definitely be paying attention to this stuff if you want to gain yield on your mining or on your crypto, rather than just letting it sit. You're actually it's almost better to take on risk with some of these protocols because of the insane gains, and it's almost it's more risky almost to just let the tokens sit in your wallet, because you're making less with your own tokens than everyone else, and that could be an interesting way to look at it. All right, guys, thanks for making it this far. If you did, here's my Twitter. I made a Twitter for the Soko mining. It's going to be mostly mining, but majority is now going to be switching over to DeFi stuff and a little pizza, I guess. Mostly DeFi stuff, retweeting stuff about DeFi, different protocols, and stay tuned. Give me a follow. That'd be dope. And here's two really good Twitter personalities or people. They both have YouTube channels that you should check out if you want to get into DeFi. If you want to get into DeFi more, they have really good overviews and tutorials. This guy, Taiki Maeda, and then rekt foodfarmer. This guy's got a lot of alpha. He's a beast. I've been following his steps for a long time now, and he's definitely done well. All right, guys. Thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more, and feel free to hit me up on Instagram or in the comments if you got any questions. Awesome.